If you only have one or two real friends, society may have made you feel like something is wrong. People assume a large social circle equals success. They equate popularity with emotional health, but psychology tells a very different story. Today, we are breaking down the psychology of people who keep their circle small, and why this pattern is often linked to depth rather than deficiency. Because having fewer friends does not mean you are antisocial. It often means you are selective. If you enjoy psychology explained in a clear and honest way, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you do not miss the next breakdown. Now let us look at what research reveals. The first psychological trait is intolerance for superficiality. Some people would rather be alone than surrounded by fake connection. They have low tolerance for gossip, manipulation, and transactional behavior. When someone repeatedly shows inconsistency or dishonesty, they disengage quickly. This is not coldness. It is boundary awareness. Research on social intelligence shows that individuals with higher analytical thinking often withdraw from low-value social environments. They do not maintain friendships out of fear of being alone. They maintain them out of alignment. The second trait is developed self-reflection. When you are not constantly surrounded by social noise, your attention turns inward. You analyze your choices, you question your reactions, you evaluate your growth. Psychologists link solitude with increased metacognition is the ability to think about your own thinking. It strengthens emotional regulation and decision-making. A smaller circle often creates more space for internal clarity. The third trait is sensitivity to overstimulation. Large groups and constant interaction drain certain nervous systems. Highly sensitive individuals process more environmental input. Noise, conversation overlap, and chaotic social settings can feel overwhelming. Research suggests that heightened neural responsiveness is correlated with deeper processing. Your preference for quiet is not avoidance. It is neurological protection. You preserve your cognitive energy by limiting unnecessary stimulation. The fourth trait is a high trust threshold. People with small circles tend to take trust seriously. They do not open quickly. They observe patterns. They evaluate consistency. Psychological studies show that individuals who have experienced betrayal often develop stronger discernment rather than withdrawal. They learn from experience. Caution becomes intelligence, not paranoia. The fifth trait is preference for depth over breadth. Some people thrive on variety and constant interaction. Others crave intensity and meaning. Research on relationship satisfaction consistently shows that perceived depth predicts fulfillment more than quantity of connections. You do not seek acquaintances. You seek resonance. Surface-level conversation feels draining rather than energizing. Meaningful dialogue feels expansive. If you cannot find depth, solitude feels preferable. The sixth trait is accelerated growth. Certain individuals evolve quickly. They change interests, they update beliefs, they outgrow habits. When personal development moves rapidly, some relationships naturally fall away. This is not arrogance, it is pace difference. Growth does not always occur in synchrony. You are not leaving people behind intentionally. You are simply moving forward. The seventh trait is selective energy investment. Every relationship requires emotional resources, time, attention, support. When you keep your circle small, you concentrate those resources intentionally. Psychological research shows that strong social bonds require consistent emotional investment. A smaller circle allows deeper commitment. You do not divide attention thinly across dozens of connections. You strengthen a few. The eighth trait is comfort with solitude. Many people equate being alone with being lonely. These are not the same. Loneliness is disconnection from meaningful relationship. Solitude is time spent with oneself. Research shows that individuals comfortable with solitude often display higher creativity and emotional regulation. You do not require constant external input to feel stable. Your inner world provides stimulation. The ninth trait is observational awareness. When you speak less, you observe more, you notice inconsistencies, you detect emotional shifts, you read between lines. This makes you cautious about expanding your circle. Not everyone qualifies for your trust. Observation becomes a filter. The 10th and most important trait is selective belonging. You are not antisocial. You are selectively social. You invest in relationships that feel reciprocal and safe. You avoid dynamics that feel draining or performative. Psychological well-being depends more on perceived quality of connection than on social quantity. A single, stable friendship can predict greater life satisfaction than dozens of shallow ones. There is also a cultural layer to this misunderstanding. Modern platforms reward visibility and networking. Large follower counts create illusion of connection. But depth cannot be mass-produced. It must be built slowly. Your small circle may appear limited from the outside. From the inside, it may feel sufficient. If you only have 1 or 2 real friends, that may reflect clarity. Clarity about your values. Clarity about your boundaries. Clarity about your energy. The real question is not how many friends you have. The real question is whether the relationships you maintain feel authentic. If they do, your small circle is not a weakness. It is intentional design, and intentional design protects mental health. If this breakdown resonated with you, subscribe for more psychology that explains personality patterns in a grounded and practical way. Comment below whether you prefer a small circle or a large one and why. And watch the next video to continue understanding how your mind actually works.